Go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon podcast. My guest today, famous actor turned crypto mogul, founder and CEO of DYOR Labs, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Kurland.
Thanks. Just to preface, I am not one of the founders, but I am the CEO of DYOR Labs. So, but thank you.
Hi. Okay. Well, we'll fix it in post, I guess. But welcome to the pod. Welcome to the pod, nonetheless.
Thank you very much for having me.
Listen, how did you go from acting into crypto? Because that's kind of a jump, right? And we're not talking like you were like no offense, but not a Mickey Mouse actor, right? Just watch some of your movies getting like 95%, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, Academy Award nominees and winners movies. So it's not like you were off Broadway and then decided, I'm going to go and do this crypto thing. We had a very successful acting career going on there, and then we moved into crypto. So what's that all about?
Yeah, well, look, I started out as an actor at a very young age. I was always kind of drawn in by fascination with storytelling and a chance to explore different lives. And acting was sorry, spelled.
Oh, Hollywood movies.
Obviously, it's the middle of the day, so we get all kinds of funness. So acting, afforded me a lot of amazing experiences. But as I grew older, I realized that I was kind of being pulled into exploring storytelling beyond film and making an impact in other industries. And a lot of my interests evolved as well. And one of them turned out to be tech. And as I started that transition into tech, and eventually crypto, I saw really an opportunity where I felt like I could make an enormous difference. And that was a big draw for me. Acting is about making these impactful changes, but you're sort of this very small little peg in a very large
cog in a large machine. Yeah,
exactly. And so I wanted to do something where I felt like my impact and influence could be really meaningful. And as I was kind of exploring this world, and the deeper that I got into the space, the more I started to notice a lot of the same issues that repeated themselves. So things like lots of scams in the space, a lot of misinformation, and then on the token issuance side of things or the project side of things, there's a lot of outdated tools that all of these projects have to interact with. There's platforms that are legacy platforms, and they're overcharging both their users and the projects. And then there's also a serious lack of customer support. So when you do get stuck, you have nobody to turn to. And so DYOR sort of became the answer to a lot of these frustrations, something where transparency and service and accessibility could be the focal point. And so, that's.
But did you meet people, right? Or was it people that you already knew from sort of your movie days, or was it different people outside of the industry?
Yeah, so I took a really big interest in this in around 2016. And because I was living out in Los Angeles, there was this kind of interesting blend of people who were working in entertainment and other people that were working in tech. And so through some mutual friends, I was actually introduced to a founder of a early stage project. And back then, Ethereum was still in its early days. Solana didn't even exist. So when it came to building tokens, really it was building your own blockchains. And a lot of that happened with forks, right? So you'd have fork of Bitcoin or a fork of Ethereum. You'd have all these different iterations, but on their own blockchains. And one of those was called Einsteinium. And so I ended up meeting one of the founders of that project and one of the development heads. And we built this friendship. And I said, I would love to get involved. And one of the interesting dynamics of the tech world is that you have a lot of these tools that are being built by these incredibly technically proficient minds, these brilliant developers. They are amazing at development. They are not as amazing at marketing, at branding, at some of these other elements. And my experience in the entertainment industry brought me a lot of knowledge when it comes to the importance of telling a good story. And so I was onboarded to that project. It was the first thing I ever worked on in the space to help them with their narrative and to help them get their message across to a more broad audience. And that ultimately ended up leading to them becoming one of the top 15 largest blockchain projects in the world during the 2017 bull run. So very proud of that work that we did with them. And then just kind of caught the bug from there, and I said, "This is amazing. What else could I do?" And so started consulting for a number of other projects. Was working for a company that was building a smart web browser that was intended to be kind of a flip on the idea of where your attention goes and who gets to own your attention. I thought that was a brilliant idea. It didn't quite come to full scale, but it was really interesting thing to kind of get into the weeds on, and ended up working with a number of different celebrities during the NFT crazes. So I've gotten to work on some very cool and interesting projects in the space.
So I was about to ask you sort of your most valuable skill that you picked up in your journey that you transferred to crypto, but it sounds to me like it is storytelling. So what is like DYOR's story? What is its story?
I mean, the idea for DYOR really came out of a lot of our own experiences and frustrations in the crypto space. Both as traders and working on teams for projects. As a trader, I found that trying to understand and trust different projects was incredibly time consuming. It often kind of felt like navigating a minefield, and it also was just rife with scams. And it sort of feels like you needed a PhD to kind of navigate these things. And so I felt that there was an opportunity to make something that was better and that was simpler to use. And that had consumer protections built in, because not everybody is extremely knowledgeable in all the nuance of, this is a spoof contract, or this contract has elements that would indicate that somebody behind it is not maybe got your best interests at heart. And then on the flip side of that was kind of venting about all of the frustrations one faces when working on a project. That there are these handful of legacy platforms that have been around for a very long time. And as a result, they have really stopped meaningfully innovating. Yes, they'll add a new feature in here or there, but for the most part, they've stagnated and instead switched into this overcharging mode where they're not really providing much support, but they are providing many bills, and they've gotten very expensive. And also, you as the token project have zero controls over it. So, for example, when you get a listing on one of these major platforms, you're spending potentially thousands of dollars to get your information posted on there.
Yes,
and then let's say, you were working through it quickly because you were in a time crunch to get everything done, and you made a mistake on the spelling of your website, or adding in your white paper, what have you. And then you have to go back to them and pay them again.
Convenient.
And we think this is crazy.
Yeah.
So we've created the world's first team dashboard. It allows the teams to have full control over their own projects. So instead of there being a gatekeeper who's charging constantly, you sign up for free. You claim the page for free, and there's a verification process because we certainly want to make sure that it gets into the right hands.
Yeah.
But once that's complete, it's a very simple process. Then you will have access to changing all of the things about your token page moving forward, whether that's your website or your social links or adding new audits in, anything that could be considered an update. And then we went a step further. We thought, really, this should be an all-in-one platform where you can kind of get all of the information without having to go from place to place to place. So we've built out a mechanic whereby the token projects can actually add in a news feed, live articles, updates, Twitter posts, mentions. And then maybe the coolest feature of all is that they can input a live feed of their Telegram chats right into the token page. So now if you're looking through a bunch of different projects and you want to see what's going on within their community, right now the process is to figure out where their Telegram is, to then open up a new tab, then to join. There's usually a gating process, so you have to do a bunch of math to try to figure that out. It's a big hassle, and nobody wants to go through it. They just want to get some kind of a sense in that moment. What's this like? And then maybe later, if they decide to participate, that's when they want to join the Telegram and be an active member of that community. But right now, they just want a sneak peek. We're able to provide that to them. And that is a huge benefit for both traders and project owners alike.
I saw a tweet saying innovative feature, rug pull protection. That sounds cool. How does that work?
Yeah, so we've built our own native DEX and aggregator. As of right now, it is the world's best aggregator. And what I mean by that is by any measurable metric, right? What are the most important things? Is this fast? And will the trades go through? And am I going to save money in the process? And we've been able to check off all of the boxes. Our price quotations are at or below all of the industry leaders. We are beating the crap out of people on gas. Ethereum prices are going up right now, so this is very important, at least on that network. We're anywhere from starting out 20 to 30 to 40% lower in gas fees than any of the leading DEXs and aggregators on market. And in addition to that, our DEX runs simulations in tandem with the trade execution. So it can detect things like honeypots or rug pulls, and it will actually prevent those trades from going through. And instead of providing just a blanket error message, we're actually going to have a proper user experience on our platform. It's going to tell you the exact reason why the trade didn't go through, whether that was because we thought that, there was an early warning that this is a rug pull or a honeypot. Now, there are additional errors as well that I'll point out that most of the other sites are privy to. For example, things like slippage. So slippage, obviously, meaning the percent up or down that you're willing to accept a trade based on the price fluctuations, right? Yes. With our platform, we have automatic slippage built in, so you don't have to worry about that. There's also things like gas fees fluctuating. Well, we have automatic features in place to make sure that you're paying the appropriate amount of gas and that's optimized. So you don't have to worry about those things. Now, if you are a ultra professional trader and you want to kind of break our system apart and take the training wheels off, if you will, you are more than welcome to. But again, this is about making a tool that is incredibly powerful, accessible to all.
Dude, you said so much there, and so much of it sounds very awesome. What is your mission for the future? Like, what do you have in mind for 2025? Where do you want to take this thing?
We have a lot of big goals, very lofty goals for 2025. We see this as a jumping off point, right? We're at the tail end of 2024. We are entering perhaps the biggest bull cycle we have ever seen. It's a very, very exciting time. And we have just completed the version 1, the first version of our platform.
Okay.
And so what we're going to see coming up in the next several months is a massive explosion of innovation. There's going to be a ton of new tools that we are going to be introducing onto the platform. We are going to be adding in different modes, for example, beginner, intermediate, advanced modes. So very customizable settings that we're going to be implanting into this website. And there's going to be a ton of growth as well. So we have some very ambitious goals in terms of our growth and adoption. We have this incredible strategy to getting there because we're providing these free tools and services to the token issuers themselves. And they're going to help us by doing their part to helping onboard their communities to our platform. And in turn, we're going to support them by having this incredible tool that is an extension of their branding and of their marketing, this forward-facing token page that they will have control over rather than us. So lots of very big initiatives for next year. And what you're going to see as a user is just constant updates and improvements.
Constant innovation. I love it. Last question before I let you leave. What type of projects are you seeing that people want to build or need tokens for?
So the question was, what type of projects are we seeing?
Are we seeing build that people need tokens for?
Great question. So I think a lot of the focus and innovation right now, there's obviously been a big play in the meme space, right? That's never going away.
No, that's massive.
And there's a lot of speculation on that. Some people say that that's entirely scammy, and other people, I think, reflect on the idea that, you know, there are these incredible communities being built, and out of those is this wave of ideas and this sort of renaissance of innovation, right?
Yes.
So it really depends, because I think both are happening, frankly.
Okay.
As far as some of the other sectors that we are seeing exploding, and I think are going to be really big topics of conversation in this cycle, RWA is certainly one of them. Real world assets, being underpinned by blockchain technology, I think is going to be a really big narrative. AI is certainly one. Now that's going to be very buzzy on its face, but there are certainly some meaningful components of AI. So for example, in conversations around ownership and authenticity, content creation, I think these are going to be the meaningful topics when we're talking about AI. And then of course, the other big one is gaming. So those are really going to be kind of the three big tentpoles aside from the meme tokens that you're going to start seeing in this cycle.
Awesome. Love it. Ben, thank you so much for joining me. If the listeners want to go and connect with you and DYOR Labs, where can they do that?
They can go to the website, DYORLabs.com. They can also follow us on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And that is DYOR Labs _. And you should definitely join our Telegram community as well and get into this conversation and get access to the website and leave us messages. Feel free to give us thoughts, suggestions, criticisms are always welcome as well. And that's DYOR _Labs. So those are the three main places to check out.
Put all the links in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. And to our listeners, peace, love, and prosperity. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.
Wild winds blow. A little voice keeps saying go, but the weight's so hard to let go. Dreams are written in the sky, but it's hard to say goodbye to the life you've built, the ties that bind. It takes a leap, leave it all behind. What if you fall? What if you break? What if the light fades away? But what if you fly? What if you soar? What if there's more? You're chasing the stars, burning so bright, leaving the shadows, stepping into the light. It's a risk, it's a flame, it's a shot in the dark, but you'll never know till you spark. Let the doubts fall, let the chains slide. You've got a fire that won't be denied. Giving up something to feel alive. Chasing the stars to survive. Cold air bites as the city fades. Every step rewrites the page. It's lonely but the dreams stay gold. 1,000 stories yet untold. Every star becomes a map. Every fall a step back to the path. Your world's a melody unsung. Reach for the notes and chase the sun. What if you fall? What if you break? What if the light fades away? But what if you fly? What if you soar? What if there's more? You're chasing the stars, burning so bright, leaving the shadows, stepping into the light. It's a risk, it's a flame, it's a shot in the dark, but you'll never know till you spark. Let the doubts fall, let the chains slide. You've got a fire that won't be denied. Giving up something to feel alive. Chasing the stars to survive. Don't look down, don't turn back. You're on the edge of what you lack. Feel the rush, hear the call. This is your moment, give it your all. You're chasing the stars, burning so bright, leaving the shadows, stepping into the light. It's a risk, it's a flame, it's a shot in the dark, but you'll never know till you spark. Let the doubts fall, let the chains slide. You've got a fire that won't be denied. Giving up something to feel alive. Chasing the stars to survive. Chasing the stars to survive.